This is Paulette on FiveEyes.tv. Today I have the pleasure of speaking to Sonny Bradshaw, who is also known as the Dean. He was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and has dedicated over 60 years to music. Can I call you Sonny?
They all call me Sonny.
Okay. Well, Sonny, you've had a very interesting and long career in music. Can you tell me about your background and a little bit about your background and how you got started?
Background, let's see. Background meaning where was I born?
Yeah, everything. We want to know everything about you.
Oh, background. I always say I've been born under the clock in Kingston. That meaning right down in town in Kingston. And I went to my school was in downtown Kingston, just called Conversorium School. It's what we used to call in those days elementary school, but it has turned out to be something like more than just a school, just a little below university.
Oh,
because
really?
Everything was taught there. When I was through with that school, I went to the Kingston Technical School. That's further up from downtown to up at Hanover Street, below North Street, and it was called the Kingston Technical School. It is now called the Kingston Technical High School.
Oh, wow.
They're changing it because it has been doing that work for such a long time, you know. And I learned most everything there, and but my music connection really came from experimenting in what we call experimenting in radio.
Oh.
These days we call it electronics. But it was those days, and where you wear headphones.
Yeah.
Yes, and you had this little radio that you'd have to build yourself. And I was successful in building mine, and I was just a part of a small group of us, about 6 of us, who were experimenting that way. Above us, the adults above us were what they call them? They're hams, and meaning much higher than us, you know. But we were schoolboys.
So how old were you?
Oh, that's my problem. Dates and stuff. Suppose about what, 15 or 16.
Okay,
Yes.
teenager.
Yes, teenager. I used to go to the junior center library every day and read about electronics, as we call it. Get the mechanics books, and it told you about everything. You know, every month we had a gentleman there who was in charge, Mr. Robert Verity, and he always said, "I'm getting a set of books tomorrow, so come and let us have a look at them." And at the same time, I used to read a lot. I used to read all the what you call them now, murder books, The Saint, the Bulldog Drummond, this, you know, the whole series. What's her name? What's her name there? The wonderful one that they're having, that she's on television now. I used to read all those books, along with my mechanics. And then listening to my mechanics, my electronics as we call it now, like we picked up stations, mostly Miami stations, Cuban stations.
Oh, right.
And that was the first music touch that we got.
So it was the radio, really, that got you started in all this?
It was really the radio. And when I got my first job, much later than that, it was in a music store.
Oh.
So it worked quite well for me. I could listen to BBC. I even got BBC on my little radio, and the Armed Forces Radio Service, and they used to play jazz at that time, right? That was my first contact with that kind of music.
Yeah, that kind of music.
Yeah, but The other stations used to play popular music, and the MATHIS stations, we could pick them up, man, on my earphones. So that is the background, and I started to teach myself to play the trumpet. But before that, my mother, my parents, my mother and father, they were connected with what we used to call in Kingston the Jamaican Success Club. It was one of those friendly societies, and they used to be the caretakers. And there was a gentleman there, Mr. Morrison, who was giving piano lessons, and my mother insisted that so I started piano there. I started the piano there long before trumpet. You know,
right?
So I had a little background, piano background, and I was a bright student too.
Good old mum.
Yes. So I graduated from piano to trumpet, which I had to do that on my own, you know. And later on I was most interested in music arranging. And I taught myself that also with books from the library and importing the books. You have to import some of those books, you know. And I learned all of that.
So I was going to say, a lot of these things you're self-taught, really, aren't you?
Yes, I'm really self-taught. I was not lucky enough to go to the Alpha School, because that was a school for boys whose parents had sent them away, you know. But I had my parents, I was well, everything, so I could concentrate on doing all these little things, these other things. That's the background?
That's the background.
Okay.
Well, the music is the fruit to a lot of things, really.
Oh yes, well, the music has, I had a little run-in with my parents too, because when I decided that I'm going to run this music business, they said, "That? You want to be that?" I said, "Yes, what's wrong with that?" She said, "You see that man sitting down at the sidewalk there? There was a nightclub close to where not close, down Wyman Street, down the bottom. We lived up the top. And was one of the great musicians of the day. He was a saxophone player called Guy Trott. And I used to hear the person who is imitating on my radio, you know. He was imitating top, not imitating, but playing like them, top jazz players, you know, like Coleman Hawkins, that sort of guy. But Guy used to do a lot of drinking, white rum, and my father passed him one morning down Wyman Street, sitting down on a step and sleeping at about 6 o'clock in the morning. So you want to be like that? I said, "No, sir, I wouldn't have that." So, you know, these little things come up sometimes. I remember them.
You've got over 60 years that you've dedicated to music. So what really inspired you, or who inspired you, and what made you decide that you wanted to be in the music field and develop your career?
I think the listening to music, you see, once you get a chance to listen to music, you'll know if you like it, and you will know if you want to sort of stay with it. And the music that was around me at the time was big band music. I loved to hear that sound, and very, very important soloists on different instruments. And so I just wanted to be that.
Well, the research that I've done on you, it says you're a jazz pioneer, band leader, producer, composer, arranger, recording artist, journalist, teacher and creator of various radio and television commercials and programs. Now,
how are you going to get in all that?
Well, I'll tell you what, let's start with the radio.
Well, I just told you about the radio.
I know, but your first radio program.
that was, I won't forget the dates. I went into radio in 1959 when they started a new broadcasting station in Jamaica called the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC.
Right.
And they advertised in the press. They wanted to mimic the BBC. And so all the kind of programs that the BBC were doing, they wanted to do the equivalent there. And one of the things they wanted to do was to have a studio band. But they didn't have enough money to have a studio band. So they advertised for a studio group, seven musicians. And I applied, along with some of my friends who were around the time who wanted to get into broadcasting, you know. And we got the job, and we started as a band there. And I was one of the arrangers. The other arranger was Carlos Malcolm, my close friend, and we were the arrangers for the 7-piece band. And that band had to work every day because we had to accompany Louise Bennett. She had a regular show going every day at 7:15, and Ronnie Williams had his morning show. And you know, we had to write out this music, play it, practice it, and broadcast it. So I was in radio, you know, but the band didn't last long because we who were in the band were about the best musicians around.
Right. Was that band called the Sonny Bradshaw CD?
No, it was not the Sonny Bradshaw CD.
So what was that band called?
That was the JBC Orchestra.
Okay.
Right. The Sonny Bradshaw CD started in 1950.
Right.
You know, and this is way down the line now. But as you said, I started radio there, and when the corporation couldn't afford us, they disbanded the band, and but they kept on myself and Carlos Malcolm because they had some contracts of half-hour shows or one-hour shows that they had to keep doing, and that needed music to be written and to be a band to play it, you know. So we were held over, and we just after that, television was no. I had to do. I was given a new program. I was given a program to do.
And what was that called?
It was called Teenage Dance Party.
Right.
And it is called normally TADP. But it was not a jazz program. And I said to the Canadian gentleman who was training us, so why are you selecting me? I'm a jazz man. He said, no, it's an ideal person to do a popular music program. So he said, I'll give you 24 hours to get this program on the air. So I had to do that. I got the program on the air, and it was because it was in the afternoon. It was intended to be for young people at 4:45,
Right.
4 o'clock. You know, that's after school and so. And so we organized this program and invited the children around JBC to come on the program, and it was successful. Then the children now, they are on pop music, you know, and they say, you don't have this to play, sir? Mr. B, you must play that, man, you must play. And so I gathered all their musics, and we played it. It turned out to be the most popular radio program for 5 consecutive years on radio. And not only was it a popular radio program, we turned it into a youth club sort of thing. So not only do you listen to the music, but you have other activities to do that normal youths you would be interested in. And
That kept them out of trouble?
yes, it did, you know. I think my superiors at the station were very happy about that. And they kept on saying, hey, keep it going, man. Yes. So we kept it going for 5 years until we had a big strike at the station. And all of that popular music thing was getting out. It was, well, I was not going to be there, you know, and it was the most popular program on radio. We had another radio station, RJR, but they were playing American music.
Right.
And so, what I was playing on my program was Jamaican music, new Jamaican music. It didn't sound great, you know. It didn't sound great because it's new, and it's...
That's probably what the people wanted to hear, though.
And they wanted to hear that. And it has developed along from there on to what it is now, right? So that is my... And then when we switched...
That's a benchmark for you then, isn't it?
They told me that the station was going to start a television channel, and they wanted to transfer Teenage Dance Party from radio to TV. So I had to learn TV. And so...
A jack of all trades.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that. I learned TV, how to do TV, you know. And it was during all that period that radio that I had to do commercials, radio commercials, 30-minute, 15-minute, 45-minute commercials of different products. I knew how to do that. So, and that was quite successful. I learned that very well. I also introduced on that program a thing called the Jamaican Hit Parade. My Canadian man said to me, hey, you don't have no Jamaican hit parade. We have top 40 in America and Canada, and we have this and that, but your station must have that.
Oh, excellent.
And he said, yo, we have to get that next week. So I devised a thing called the Jamaica Hit Parade, top 30. It's still going on.
It looks like everything you put your fingers to was very successful. And he's still successful.
It turned out that way, but you know, there are ups and downs.
No, well, this is it.
You know?
Yeah, I think in anything people try,
Yeah.
you have to go through the downs in order to get back up again.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
that's how people learn,
We've
by
had-
experience.
We had that in radio.
Yeah.
We had that in television. And then we had that when I started what was called the Sonny Bradshaw 7 in 1950.
Right, okay.
Right.
And tell me a little bit about that.
You want to hear about that?
Yes, I do.
It is called now the famous Sonny Bradshaw 7. The famous business part there is just because we were all young at the time. And we were experimenters. And at that period in time, the music in North America was changing. The big bands were going out because of the economic situation, and smaller groups were coming in. And the progressive jazz attracted us, we young boys, you know. And so we were on this progressive team. And I could probably take the blame of introducing it in Jamaica. Yes, I thought I did. And so we couldn't get anywhere to play. And so the best thing we had to do was to form our own little band and starve.
Wow.
But I wouldn't really starve because I was living with parents.
Good old parents.
And roof over your head and breakfast, dinner, lunch and dinner. So you don't have to worry. You know what I mean? And we started the 7. And our connection with Alpha started there.
Right, okay.
Yes, because
So that goes way back.
yes, because there's a lady, Nona, Sister
Was that
Ignatius, who he liked music, and she liked progressive music too, you know, and she heard about my starting this band, and she called to say, I have some boys, you know, who I'd like you to be associated with. And she said, well, Art, she's going to send me a boy. She said, this boy is very good, but it is not his time to leave school yet, but because of you, she had this confidence in me, you know.
Yeah, oh, that's nice.
And she sent me a young fella named Joe Harriet. He was really good, but he didn't know what was happening on the road, you know. And so we got together, and we rehearsed and stuff, along with another very English-fy musician called Herman Wilson. He's alive. He's in London.
Wow.
Yes, I think he's a professor or something like that now. But he's a classical musician now, you know. But he was our trombonist, and Joe Harriet was our saxophonist. I was playing trumpet at that time, and we had a young fellow named Lloyd Adams from the survey department, civil servant, yeah. He was playing piano, and bass player, Mr. Byfield, or Mr. somebody, Mr. Stevens, and a drummer who was an industrial drummer, you know. And we formed the seven, and the seven succeeded. We got a good friend, one of the top road bands of the day, Val Bennett. I used to write some music for him, and he said, okay, 12 o'clock on the so-and-so date, I'll give you the hour, and you can, when I take my hour break, you can bring in the seven man, right? And we dressed in our white suits. We looked different, understand, because we were all dressed in white pants, white jackets, white, and a red beret. We all had our red beret. That was the progressive part of us. And the music that we were playing was strange. And people stood up and applauded and said, whoa, this is good. And that was our first break.
Well, you've accompanied Sarah Vaughan, Johnny Ray, Brooke Benton, Johnny Mathis, Mighty Sparrow. This is just to name a few, and you know, a lot more.
No,
So
I don't want to name anymore.
So how did that all come about?
The Sonny Bradshaw 7, yes, it was popular, it was, and I was regarded as a goodish musician, you know, and there's a company that was doing top acts, importing top American acts, classical acts from Russia, the Russian dance group, and all that sort of a thing, great piano players, and they decided to go into pop music, and so they invited Louis Armstrong, Oscar Peterson,
Wow.
all these top-notch guys,
yeah.
and then Stephen Hill was the gentleman. Celebrity concerts. He and his wife ran that business, and he said, "Okay, the great singer topping the top charts is Sarah Vaughan, and I'm bringing her. So I wish you luck, man." And during his negotiation, he thought of this idea. Hey, if I put a Jamaican band with this great singer, I fill the theater many times. So he called me, and he said, do you think you can put together the All-Stars band? I said, yeah, man, we can do that. He said, but I want you to play with Sarah Vaughan.
Wow.
So I don't know about that, because, you know, these top American acts are very finicky, you know. And after a week, he came back and said, yeah, she said she'll work with you too.
He obviously had a lot of faith in you.
And yes. And she was coming from South America. She had gone to tour down there, and she was coming back. And she didn't come in time. She didn't come the day before, that we could rehearse and do all this thing, you know. And she came about 7 o'clock in the evening, and the show was 8 o'clock. And I had the band there, band was there ready, and she said, I'm not going on unless I hear this band play. And she brought her music, and we were backstage. The theater is filling up with people. And she handed out our music, and we had good musicians, you know, we had good musicians.
I can imagine.
We had good musicians. And she said, okay, 1, 2, 3, but let's go. And she said, okay, that's okay. The other one, and she went through about half a dozen songs. She said, okay, we'll go on.
Oh, so she's happy, lovely.
Yes, and the show was running late because that took up some time. And it was successful. And we got our picture in the front pages of the newspaper. You know?
I bet you've treasured that then.
Yes. And from then, Mr. Hill was bringing all these top-notch people now, because Sarah was the top of the.
So anybody else was just small fry.
And so we did all those other people you mentioned. I remember. I must say this. I have told it already. That I won't forget Johnny Mathis. Johnny Mathis was the top boy. You know, he was one of the first black entertainers to earn so much money, and he was a great singer too. Yeah. And he was brought in, and Mr. Hill said, "You will play for Johnny Mathis." I said, "Yes, great man. I'd love to." Oh. And I'd never forget it, because we were on stage and we were going on fine until Mathis wanted to sing a certain song. I can't remember the name of the song. You know, it wasn't the Lord's Prayer, something like that. And we played the intro, and he came out wrong. And he said, "Hey, something is wrong. Stop. Let's start again." And we started again, and he got it right this time.
Oh.
At the end of the show, he gave me £10. And he said, "You are wonderful. I was the one who made the mistake.
Oh, excellent.
And you guys were playing well." I said, "Thank you." And we share up our £10.
But that must have boosted your ego to be told by somebody like that.
Yes,
how wonderful.
You know,
you
so
are.
I know all the nervousness had already passed.
Gone out the window, that's right.
Know. And so when MATHIS came, it was easy business.
That's right.
When Johnny Ray, he was half deaf, you know, and but he was easy to work with. We did him. We did Benny King. We did who again?
Brooke Benton.
Brooke Benton. We did. Oh, it was the easiest one. You know, says what the key is, and we went right in. You know. And I really enjoyed that part of my life.
Lovely.
And what I've set out to do is try to, the new musicians, I try to get them to perform with the top musicians of their day. Because the new musicians of their day are different, you know, different set. Those old time boys are gone already. And it is my job to invite them whenever there is a big act coming in that I have to do with, to get them to play.
Yeah, nurture them.
Yes, man. And they get nervous too, you know.
Well, you know, I think you have to go through that in order to come up again.
That's right. You have to go through it.
Yeah.
And they don't have to go to the United States to do it.
No.
It just happens right here.
Well, which is excellent.
That's it. And I like doing that. I'm doing that right now, every time.
Right, well, before we come on to that, you're married to Myrna Hague, who is a singer, actress, journalist, vocalist with the Jamaican Big Band and Jazzmobile. We could go on and on with her as well.
University graduate, and she's doing her doctors now. And
excellent.
Boy, oh boy.
Wow.
Boy.
So tell me, how did you meet Myrna? And where did you meet Myrna?
I met Myrna in Jamaica. She was visiting. She was trying to get back home. And I think she had been visiting about 2 or 3 times. So I met her at that time, one of the times. But she was a good singer. She was a good singer. And good singers, good musicians, good singers. I like to be around them, you know.
That's a good combination then, isn't it?
Yeah. And I did some arranging for her, you know, because she was already established here in London, in England, and she went on a tour to all Europe, Austria, and where they were having the wars and all that sort of thing. But she became my very good friend while I was the president of the Jamaica Federation of Musicians. Nobody didn't want to take the post of secretary because these posts were not, you don't get in pay. You're just doing it because of you're in it and you want to improve your.
That's right, yeah.
Right. So she worked with me during that period.
And how long were you the president?
I was president for about over 20 years.
Gosh.
But this was in the latter part that she came in as the secretary, and she was living in Ocho Rios in the tourism area, and I was in Kingston. So she took charge of the tourism area in terms of organizing the Jamaican Federation of Musicians in that area, Montego Bay, Negril, and that sort of a thing. And after we became very good friends, and good friend.
Yes, and one thing led to another.
Yes, and we have been married for, 10, 11, 12, 13 years now. Yes.
Lovely.
It's holding together. It's holding together. And she's the singer in my two groups. My Jamaica Big Band, she's the main singer, girl singer. And in the Jazzmobile, which is a smaller group, she's also the singer for that. And she has turned me into a piano player because her career is going a different way, and she need a accompanist.
And naturally, that's you.
And so she'll put up with me playing for her right up to now, I hardly get a chance to play my trumpet.
Sonny, you've been involved in organising festivals in Jamaica. You are the founder of the Jamaica Ocho Rios Jazz Festival. A little bit about
Festivals in Jamaica. I've only done one.
Oh, really?
That is the Jamaica Ocho Rios Jazz Festival.
Oh, okay.
For the last 17 years.
That's a long time. That's a very long time. So how did you get started into that?
I must say I had quite a bit of encouragement from Myrna, because her family is in a part of Ocho Rios too. She came from Portland, but her family is in Ocho Rios. So she lived in Ocho Rios when she came home quite a bit, and she wanted to encourage me to do something that would big up, let's say, Ocho Rios. And we started the Jazz Festival. Jazz Festival started as a one-day festival, and I'll take the blame for this. I wanted it to be dedicated to fathers because the other kind of event that is very popular up to now is Mother's Day.
Oh.
Right? It's a big thing in Jamaica, Mother's Day. Oh, everybody's mother. So I wanted the festival to sort of appreciate fathers. Some of them not so good, but it was all right, all the same, So we started it on Father's Day. Right?
So that's in June?
Yes, June always on Father's Day. And then we developed from a one-day to a 3-day, a whole weekend, and ended on Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
And then we extended it to 8 days, ending on Father's Day again. So we started the 1 week before and ended on Father's Day.
So now it's for 8 days?
Yes, it's been 8 days for the last 10, 12 years.
Excellent.
More than that. Yes.
And where do musicians come from? Is it just Jamaica or is it all over the world?
At first we started with just Jamaican musicians. And then afterward, with a little help from our friends, I had sort of enjoyed a little confidence in the musicians abroad. When they came home, when they come to Jamaica to perform, I perform with them, and they feel, hey,
that's
this
nice.
guy can't, that's not bad. This guy not so bad, or the musicians I get, yeah. And so I could call a musician and say, hey, I'm going to have so-and-so, would you like to come? Don't charge me the whole lot of money.
No.
And they said, no, just tell me when.
Yeah, right.
And we have been operating that way ever since.
Well, you've earned the respect, I would imagine, of a lot of musicians.
Yes, we...
Over the years.
Yes.
I'm not saying it would have been easy with all what you've been doing, but
You know,
you've come a long way.
I really appreciate how they have responded to me, you know, and I'm trying to keep it there, keep it going, you know. So up to this year, 2008, this is going to be our 18th year without a break, right? We've lost our shirts and our pants and everything along the way, and this year we are putting the emphasis on the international part of our title, and we have been inviting musicians from. This year we're going to have musicians from Switzerland, Hungary, Norway, England, right? So we're international sort of, and there have been many of them. They've been supported by their governments too, you know. In previous years, we've had one or two Americans, and the American embassy have brought down people too to take part in our jazz festival, because our festival is a jazz festival. It is not a pop festival, you know, and perhaps it is the only one in the Caribbean that is a jazz festival, you know. We stick to it. We stick to it because I personally think that pop music is very well represented. So the minority people who like to hear this jazz business, I'll stick with it.
And I bet it's full.
Well, it's supported. It's supported. I must say that we don't get the kind of financial support that the pop music people would get, you know. And so it's a little strenuous too. But we do hold on there.
That's lovely.
And
that's good.
it's working. It looks good, and we feel good when it's all over before thinking about how to pay the bills.
Right. I just want to talk about something that you've been given the Order of Distinction by the government, and also the COD. Could you tell me a little bit about them both?
Governments in Jamaica change from time to time, and I seem to get along with all governments. Well, I try to tell the musicians that you have to get along with whoever is there, and they will have to get along with you because they always need you. So for their promotions and their images and all that sort of a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have been lucky in that members of the governments have seen that I have made a little contribution. And so at first they gave me what was called the Order of Distinction. That's a long time ago, long time ago. And a little shorter time they gave me another one called COD, which is the Commander of the Order of Distinction. But I have a joke with it, you know. I have a joke with it. The Order of Distinction, I tell them, hey, it's overdraft, right? But it is improving because the COD means cash on delivery. I'm waiting for the cash to be delivered. So, but it's good that they recognize you before you die. And that's one of the things that I do with our festival. We try to find people who are alive and big them up.
So they can get recognition. Yeah, before.
Don't wait until when the guy's dead and you talk all these nice, beautiful things about it. Talk about it when he's alive, in front of his face.
And I think that's fantastic.
And so, our 17-year journal, I'll let you have one. You will see the people who we have selected as Hall of Fame persons, who we have recognized throughout the years. And we're still doing that. You know, they're in all fields, but a little bit touched with music, like in radio, you know, in press, and all that sort of thing. People who write about music. people who play music on the radio, and anybody who promote music,
Yeah.
and we recognize them. You know.
Oh, that's excellent.
That's the job.
So you seem to be such a busy man with all these things going on that you do. How do you relax?
I play the radio. I turn it on.
Back to the radio days.
Back to the radio. And, I'm starving a little bit here now, in that the radio stations that I would normally listen to a few years ago, they're not on the radio anymore. They used to have some jazz radio
Yeah,
stations.
oh yeah.
And the BBC is running some jazz programs too, but I miss most of them. That is one of the little tonics that I rely on. And also I practice my horn every day.
Okay, Sonny, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
I hope you've been able to get as much information as you need.
Thank you.
Before I die. Okay. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, what you have on the wall there, you have Miles Davis, one of my favorite trumpet players, and over the side you have Thelonious Monk, one of my favorite composers. I have it in for my radio people at home, because while they, and they're not doing much of it but while they recognize European classical music, they're not recognizing black classical music. Black classical music is jazz, and I want them to play more of it. You know, not one or two stations that just one that they do one track every day. I have to beg him, you know. So play them, man, and call them name, you know, because the young people of today, they're really not into that. They're into rap.
No. But you see, also, if they don't see and hear about these things, how are they going to be into it? Yeah. And that's what we would like to promote on our website, you know, on our TV station. Because
I don't feel so bad now.
No, the thing is, the music is so vast,
yes.
And I think we need to show people the vast range of music, because if people don't hear classical or jazz, so they can have a choice.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
Yes, man. I want them, and they can't have a choice if they're not getting it.
That's right.
You know, boy, I'm sorry, I'm not on radio these days anymore. But if I were, you know, I would really do a little education and business. You know, so what I'm disappointed in my radio. In my journalistic career, I just fell into that by accident, really, accident. Nobody was in our newspapers. We only had one at that time.
What newspaper was that?
The Daily Gleaner. We had two: the Daily Gleaner and the morning paper, and the Star evening paper. And they never had a column on music. And I suggested to one of the sub-editors, and he said, send me the copy. I said, I don't write it yet. And I did that, and I did it, and reported all different things, not the thing that you would normally hear read in the paper, you know.
Yeah.
I found out names and stuff, and events and all that sort of thing. And so I was turned into a journalist, because my sub-editor called me every day and said, you can't do it that way. You must do so and so and so and so. And so, okay, I'll do that. And I learned my little journalism that way. I wrote that column for column was called Music Man. Anyway, SICMA, Music Man. It was supposed to be just about music, but the fringes got in there too. And I wrote that program, that column lasted for over 20 years.
Gosh.
Until the Gleaner here, the Gleaner in London, started running it. The Gleaner in Canada started running it, and then I wasn't getting a pay. So, and so I withdrew, and I do occasional things. Myrna was doing more things than I was doing. She was doing big articles on pronunciation on radio and all that sort of a thing, you know.
Yes, because she's a journalist as well.
Yes, she's a good writer. She's her English is wonderful. I never got there. But she learned her English in England. You know, and she's all right. She's all right.
Okay.
I talk to this pretty girl. I will speak to her again, and I'll talk to you with your body. And look down, and you have everything you need. Okay.